Yeah, 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 yo, 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 yo,
Yeah,
yo, yo. This is
this is live.
the casual fan live. What go on? What's good with you, Trace? You bringing a Sasson? You're translated over to this show now? Is that what's going on? Be
Could always
upset.
find a bit of sazon somewhere.
You'll see. They're gonna get upset. They already feel excluded.
Yeah,
Uh, they can be guests.
they should have their own shows. Like there's no reason why we shouldn't have 3 or 4 shows
Hater Dave.
on YouTube.
Dave.
So hit it, Dave.
That
And the
they
fact that
like.
he doesn't like being called Dave is even better.
Yeah, now that you say that, I didn't know that. Anytime he makes me mad, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Dave, listen." Oh man, I'm gonna be abusing the Dave. He's gonna be, "What the fuck? Yo, why you keep saying Dave?" I'm just saying, man. Well, you don't like it? I didn't know.
Is your
I
name
didn't-
Dave?
But yeah, so this is the Casual Fan. Today's episode, we will be covering the shocking death of, maybe it's just to me, but the shocking death of Combat Jack.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Also, I'm like, what is the second one? Also, Joe Budden leaving the Everyday Struggle
I was shocked.
Complex podcast.
Yeah. Did you see his video reply? Or
I caught some of it, but annoying times. So
I love
I
it.
don't.
He's one of the few people that like when he has something to say, I listen.
It's not the things he says. Like his laugh annoys me. You know,
Oh,
and
I
he's
love it.
like,
I love
what
it.
did
I've actually
what the hell? Yeah, that one. So,
it's funny
man.
because it's like a sneeze, laugh,
Right.
gesture type of all rolled in one type of thing.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you have
so
to like
you
sneeze,
think of it
be
anyway.
shocked, be mad, be happy, and laugh at the same time.
So you know the background to it, like how it all started.
Yeah, it's really them. Like in a nutshell, it's them having to renegotiate, him not being happy with what they offered, um, kind of wide roundabout ways they've treated him throughout the last process of the last contract and this one coming up or this one ending.
Okay. So this one just ended then, I guess, the end of the year.
Yeah, but his new video on his podcast where he kind of gives an overview of what happened. It lets you know all the things that
It
you
led
can.
up to it.
Yeah, the way he talks about it, you kind of could see it coming. So
Interesting. I heard a
what I
little
did,
bit of it. It's just mostly of him like not feeling like he was, what's the word? Given the right credit. Not just the credit, but
yeah,
the Nike story, whatever with the shoe company. Where they're like, yeah, we want you to wear these shoes, but there was like no check for it.
yeah,
Complex got the check and didn't give them anything. Stuff like that.
yeah. That and the Spotify one. The Spotify sounded like the deal breaker.
What was the case? What was exactly the Spotify thing?
So Spotify wanted to talk about a certain subject or what, and whatever that discussion was, that Spotify, because I guess they wanted to make it sound like they wanted to make it sound organic, and they wanted to have Joe and them talk about it, and he's just like, nah, he wasn't really feeling it.
Right.
So he says, I'm not going to do it. And Complex says, yes, you are. and Spotify says, well, if Joe's not talking about it, then we're out.
Exactly.
So.
Okay. So it's just something that he didn't want to talk about, and then they're trying to force him to do it.
Yeah, and then the
no
way
pay.
the way he spoke about it was like it ruined the relationship between Complex and Spotify. So it didn't sound like it was something like, oh, okay, we won't do that, and maybe we'll do something later. It sounded like it was like, oh, okay, well, we're not doing anything with you guys then.
Yeah, if you guys don't have Joe, then what the hell?
Yeah.
Same thing.
So.
The power. Joe has power, and you know.
But I mean, it makes sense though. It makes sense because it's, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like the relationship between, I want to say cultural appropriation. I think it's deeper than that though. It's kind of like you bring the slaves over to America, you want them to do the work, you take style from them, you take this from them, you take that from them, but you don't want them. Like, I feel like Complex kind of did that with Joe. It's like, we want your edge, we want your insight, we want all that, but we're not going to cut you the check on the deals that you, from companies that come in and, rock this and talk about that, but we're not going to cut you in.
But is Complex like a new company, like money wise?
Complex has been
Do
around.
they have the money to support all these shows and type stuff? Or are they like newly rising within like this type of media?
No, it's the thing about Everyday Struggle is it's the biggest thing they've got going. They've been around for a long time. Like Complex Magazine.
Yeah, I know Complex Magazine's been around for a while. Like their website, it was like more into like X Games type stuff and hip hop and stuff like that. It was really different.
They're all over the place. They're all over the place. They're like I'm trying to think of a website that's similar to Complex, but they just cover everything. So it's like everything pop you can think of.
Okay, so it used to be what Double XL.
Kind of like the old MTV.
Right. Okay.
Like you had MTV, then you had MTV2, and you had all these things, and they cover hip hop, they cover sports, politics,
movies, all that media, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All types of stuff. So Complex has been doing that for years, but the thing is, when you put Everyday Struggle on within, and that's another thing Joe Budden was talking about. You've never seen a program or content-driven program do what it did in 9 months. The way Everyday Struggle did it. So, like, he was like, you got the sneaker shopping, and that does numbers, and you got what else did he mention from Complex that does numbers?
I don't know about them. It was the sneaker shopping. How do you say that?
But he was like, we do 1 million views every day.
Yeah, they get a lot of views.
So it's like you can't dispute or argue against the numbers we do because we do them daily. So you can have sneaker shopping. You can have Complex news or whatever. But Everyday Struggle brings in 1 million views every single day. So what are you gonna say to us?
Exactly. So right now they're trying to replace him. I saw that in Who Kid.
Yeah, Woo Kid's kind of funny, but he's not insightful.
No, he's not insightful. He's a joker. Like, have you ever watched his podcast?
Yeah.
He's like a comedian. He just likes bringing up like funny stuff, and he likes to tell his stories, which are like stuff more times he can't tell on Complex.
Well, it's not that. He can't articulate the way Joe does. Like, you might not like what Joe says, but he has a way of breaking it down and explaining it in a way that Woo Kid can't do it.
That's true.
So,
what was Joe saying? He started the show, like not even help started, like he started the show.
Him and Act started. But they just started renegotiating with academics. And what's her name? Nadeska is actually like a Complex employee. So she's not I like when he broke it down and he was talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I have seen her before Everyday Struggle. So she's with Complex. So when he's talking about the creators and whatever, he's talking about him and academics.
Okay. She just got put in there as part of the
Yeah.
company.
And he even kind of referred to her as like part of the boys club. He's like, there's a boys club in all the corporations, record companies, all that. There's people who kind of switch positions, and this person is now the producer. This person is now the executive. Like she's in the in crowd in the corporate setting of Complex.
Okay.
So at first, when I'm listening to him talk, I'm waiting for him to say me, academics, and Nadeska, but he never really mentions her in their creative.
But truthfully, where did she come from before this? Like, I've never seen.
She used to like host the news and stuff, like Complex News.
Neil is a person. Budden is a person. When I first saw this, I was like, "Who is this chick?" I have no clue who this chick is. Like, I don't get why she's there. So I'm like, maybe it's like one of Joe's friends, because Joe likes to put his friends on.
Yeah.
So I figured it was one of them. But
their format is based off of ESPN's First Take.
Right.
First Take has a female moderator, so it made sense.
It always makes sense to put a female on the show anyway. Like,
yeah.
But she still came out of left field. They're like, there's so many other people they could have used. You know what I mean?
Like her though. I've always liked Nadeska.
I don't know.
She's funny. The thing about the three of them. The thing about the three of them is they're well balanced as a trio. You need somebody with a hard edge like Joe. You need somebody that's a little bit ignorant like Ak. And then you need somebody who's got a softer opinion that can, especially when they have the interviews.
Right, yeah.
And he spoke about the interviews too. He talked about how he never wanted the interviews in the first place.
Yeah. I saw that. He's like, I don't like none of you niggas. I was like, maybe you shouldn't have said that. So I'm like, he interviewed CheZZa. So, and he said he loved that interview. So now you're saying he doesn't love the interview?
No, I think what he meant was
he schooled what's his name too.
I think when he was saying that, he meant to say, I like them. I like having conversations, but as far as having them on the show, I wouldn't want them on the show.
No.
It's weird.
Joe is a person who's very big on words.
Yeah.
And the words he chooses to say, so.
Yeah. At the same time,
it's kind of weird, bro.
It is.
So now that he leaves,
but look at the Charlamagne. I mean, was it? No, not Charlamagne. Taxstone. Like he did the thing with Taxstone, and him and Taxstone are tight.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it. I kind of get what he's saying, but I get how it can be misconstrued.
Right. Taxstone is still in jail, eh?
Yeah.
Him and Troy Ave. That's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking
What's
of...
What's his name does his own podcast too, right? Academics?
I don't think so. I think it's just his YouTube channel. It's just his news stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just so annoying to me. Looking at him is annoying to me, Especially when he sits there like this.
When he's got that blank face?
Like this?
Yeah. Well, that's on purpose.
I just want to thump him, man.
He does look a little confused at times.
Like, man, I can't stand, his face is just enough, man. And then his opinions drive me crazy because there's nothing behind it. It's like he's saying what he believes is going to be the popular thing or the thing that will get Joe. So when he realizes it doesn't get Joe or it's not a popular opinion, he's like, well, yeah, I mean this, and then he goes like something totally different. You're like, what the hell? That's not what you said.
Yeah, he doesn't really take a hard stance, and that's the great thing about the show. He's in the middle between Nadeska and Joe. He takes a stance but he's not going to stand firm behind it. Joe is not flinching.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's what makes them great together.
Does Nadeska even take sides?
No. Kind
She
of, but
doesn't.
not really. That's the thing. It's not really taking sides of what she does.
Freaking Nadeska.
I like Nadeska though.
That show was just starting to grow on me.
I liked it from the gate.
Now this happened.
I liked it from jump. I wish they had kept the same format and didn't have guests on it though.
All right. Doing a Facebook thing.
Well, on Facebook too?
Yeah, no, I'm just posting it up.
Yeah, man.
We have a watcher. We have a watcher here, but they don't be talking. They just be there like.
They be listening though.
I'm watching. They be listening.
The watcher.
I know, that's what I have in my head. The watcher or like Marvel shit.
But yo, that was that threw me off guard because it's like somebody had brought up him having his wife just had the son. His girl just had the son. So at first it was like, oh, maybe he's just taking time off. But I think that was a whole media spin. So
But even that's what Who Kid said. Like people are like, oh, Who Kid's taking Joe? Like Joe got fired, and Who Kid's like, nah. Like Joe's just at home taking care of the baby. He'll be back next week. And Joe's like, yo, ain't nobody on maternity. Like ain't nobody on maternity, man. Don't try to use my 3-day-old child as an excuse.
That's one of the things they brought up. What did he say? How much of the Joe interview did you see, or the Joe podcast did you see?
I could say probably like the first, like, let's say 20, 30 minutes.
You might as well just watch the whole thing. It was only like 40 minutes.
No, it was like 2 hours.
Oh, the clip I saw was just 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't a clip. I had like the whole podcast.
The clip I saw was like titled about his reasoning for leaving.
No. Mine was titled Episode 141.
Okay.
So I had the whole one. So I just kind of stopped. I was like, okay. So I'm like, this is probably basically everything. So
yeah, because he was talking about how in the negotiations, when they because they kept offering him the same deal. So every time they went to negotiate, they were offering.
He hasn't said what the deal was, right?
Huh?
He doesn't say what the deal is that they offered him.
Well, he's not going to give specifics.
Okay.
Obviously, he's but they was just talking about like his price, like how much he was going to charge, and he's just like, his whole thing was, you're not going to pay me the same thing you paid me in the first 3 months when here are the numbers. You know, you're doing $1 million a day. You're getting ad revenue that you're not splitting with me and the other co-creator.
Right. That's true.
So he wants X amount, and they're not coming back to the table with a new amount higher. They're giving him the same deal. So
like he hasn't been doing something. It's kind of like how on TV shows when they get better ratings, the actors get more money per episode. Or
when you have a hit podcast and you try to negotiate again. But anyways, his whole thing was he had his son was born on like the Friday, and he got an email on the Sunday. I think him or his manager or his lawyer, and they said, well, here's the deal, and he said no, and they said, well, I think they said he can, if he shows up to work, because he told somebody he was going to show up to work, and they said, well, if he shows up, we already have a replacement so far for the week, so if he comes through, he's gonna be kind of like a guest, and he's gonna come through at a lower rate of pay. Yeah.
For that week.
It's like we've already replaced you for this week because we don't know what's gonna go on. But if you want to come on as a guest, you can come on since you're already gonna be there. But we're only gonna this much.
We're
So
gonna
it was
give
like
you a
some
guest
blatant.
pay.
It was like some blatant disrespect. So
Yeah, that's extra. That's like acting like he really did nothing. Like they are doing everything and he's doing nothing.
And Academics actually has a video. He has like a 7-minute video where he's explaining his side about what's going on, and he's just kind of because they both said in their videos that they both speak to each other every day.
Right.
So he kind of gives his take on what's going on.
What did he say?
No, he pretty much just said the same thing Joe was saying. He was saying that, Complex is kind of dealing with him a little disrespectful. Hopefully they can work it out. He's saying now, as far as his contract, he just started renegotiating. They just hit him up about renegotiating. So that's what he's dealing with. But as far as him and Joe, they're still good and they talk every day. But, he understands what Joe's going through because it's the kind of disrespect.
It is, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing a lot. So now that they lose Joe, they really just think Joe's replaceable type thing. Like, this is our show. We have the thing. All we got to do is bring somebody else controversial in, and it'll be the same one, too.
Yeah, but
and they think
that's
Kid
what
is controversial.
That's what they're banking on. They're banking on catching lightning in a bottle. No, it's not even that. They don't realize that they caught lightning in a bottle.
If they really want that. At least they'll get a good first week out of DMX. After the first week, people will be tired.
Yeah, because it's like you caught lightning in a bottle and you didn't realize it. Now you think you could replicate it, and it's I commented on one of the Wu Kid featured episodes, and somebody replied to me and said, "Oh, they can find another one-hit wonder to replace Joe with." And I was gonna respond, but I was like, "All right, you're one of those guys that just thinks Joe is a hater and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and they only have him because he had a hit single in 03, and that's what brings in the views." No, Joe brings in the views because A, he's in the industry. B, he knows what he's talking about. C, he knows how to properly articulate what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Like Wu Kid's in the industry, but he can't break it down like everybody else can. He can't break it down.
Who ever cared that much to do that? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Who Kid DJ, like he loves his music, but I don't see him going like, okay, yo, did you just hear the last 2 bars that this person said? That's Joe Budden. Like Joe Budden is, I say Joe Budden's with an S. Well, what's it called?
You were the first and you both the last.
He like, that's his thing, like lyrics and everything. So he's listening to all this music. He's like watching these people's stories. Like he's in it as a fan.
And he knows how to be an antagonist.
Exactly.
Some people can be disliked, but he knows how to be like a real antagonist.
Remember when Raekwon's people punched him in the face?
Oh man.
Made him apologize on camera. That's so wicked. I shouldn't even be laughing at that, but that's funny.
Well, Wu-Tang Clan ain't none that,
They do from jump. They told you from jump.
Joe did a blog right after that with the ice pack on his eye.
Yep. And he was like, yo, I only apologize because they told me to, but I was disrespectful. He's like, but I'm a rapper. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm into rapping. Like,
you know what's funny? I've been subscribed to Joe's YouTube page for years because he had it going like years ago.
Yeah.
Like when he did the whole thing with Tahiri.
With Tahiri, yep.
I was subscribed back then. So when he started dropping these ones, I was like, oh, I forgot that I was even subscribed.
Yeah.
So like he's always been a content creator.
Exactly.
And he's always had a way to engage in
grab
the crowd
attention.
and give them a glimpse into like his own world. So like whether it was him and Tahiri or him and Slaughterhouse, because there's a lot of dope videos with him and Slaughterhouse in the studio or just talking about shit. Like
Yeah,
he's always had dope.
especially those conversations. He'll always have it there for those conversations.
Yeah, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can articulate that. So
that's Joe's thing. Like Joe's one of those people who like he's just a loudmouth. Like it's not even that he's a loudmouth. It's just that he doesn't stop talking. He always wants to talk, and he always has something to talk about.
Yeah,
which he's always like knowledgeable about.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at him like, well, how the hell do you know this shit? But yeah, so now he's gone. We're going to keep him the desk guy
for now. I think at some point he might show back up. I think
as a host or a guest.
I think at some point
or a guest host.
I think at some point Complex is going to acquiesce.
Oh, so you think Complex is one of those if you don't listen you'll feel type people?
Yeah, I think at some point
company
they're going to realize that their new formula is not working, and people want the original.
It would not take too long because once people get over it doesn't matter if you bring it back. They're over it. They're over it.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody else comes in with that same format, like another group of people.
Or if Joe comes out with a better show.
That too.
Because he did say, I don't know how far you watched or how far in he said it, but he was like, he said within a matter of a day or so, everybody's hitting him up. So Revolt's hitting him up. I'm pretty sure All Def Digital hit him up. Loudspeakers Network probably hit him up. Like all these platforms.
Said he's working on something with Charlemagne too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
They were working on something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, depending on what it could be a podcast, could just be a show.
Especially if they don't lock down academics long term. And he says, "All right, well, I see the writing on the wall, and me and Joe can go back to doing this again and do it on a better platform."
They can go do it somewhere else. Just to be the two of them.
Yeah.
The thing they'll be missing is they actually a platform would buy them with all the same stuff that they have. Is that a platform would be able to provide them with all that stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up on Revolt.
Revolt will set them up, put them in a studio, get somebody to work the camera and all that stuff.
Especially if he's talking with Charlemagne.
That's true, because Charlemagne's already on Revolt.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wonder if we can talk to, while Academics is doing his renegotiations, if he could actually talk to him about working on something else, or is that something within his contract that he couldn't do?
Well, they are renegotiating with him right now, so I think the ball's in his court.
No, but I'm just saying, what if Joe, like, you know what, listen, I got Revolt on the line. They're ready for us to do our show. So we can go over there. They're going to pay us this amount of money.
Well, they're talking every day, so you never know. It might have already happened.
That's true. I'm just wondering, like, contractually, can he do that?
If it's
like, you know, like with WWE, if you once you get released, when they let you go, you still can't fight for you can't do nothing for 4 or 5 months.
It depends on who you are and what you really sign, though. Because I don't think everybody has a no compete clause. I think it depends on how hot you are,
right?
And at what point.
That's true.
I don't think, especially when you look at the terms, like some people have a no compete that's 8 months, and I think some people it's a couple of months.
I think they all have a no compete clause because, well, it depends. I think not in NXT, or maybe even in NXT, because what's it called? On the Indies, as soon as you work for WWE, you come in on a higher tier than a lot of other indie wrestlers, just because you work for WWE.
Yeah, well, you're the hot commodity by then.
So it's like, I don't know. Well, it depends. It probably depends who you are. What kind of contract Vince gives you, and even in the end, Vince could be like, "Don't worry about it. Go do your thing."
Yeah, I don't know. It might be with him. He's in the middle of negotiations, so yeah. So, like I think he's in the middle of it. So I think right now he's probably dictating the terms, especially
That's true.
with
But
everything
they don't want to lose
right
both
now.
of them. Truthfully.
Yeah, with everything going on right now, they need him more than ever. You know, they may say, "Hey, we have no plans of bringing him back. You're now the anchor."
Right.
You know, he may say, "Well, you're gonna have to up that price."
And they have to.
They're gonna have to.
Truly.
He's the last of it. Like, you can't do the show with anybody else. You already can't.
You can just do it in the
show. Yeah, well, she doesn't have the chemistry. No, I'm not gonna say that. She does have the chemistry with them, but the core is Academics and Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what you're really buying is the professional tension between Joe and Academics.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nadeska is.
You just want to see Joe curse him out.
Nadeska is the buffer. She's the person to kind of step in when things may get a little too heated. But she's the safe space between the two of them. She's not who you tune into. You tune in to see Academics say something and
Real
Joe
stupid.
buttle. Yeah.
Academics say something real stupid, and Joe look at him like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Yeah. It's First Take. When you were watching First Take with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, Joe's Stephen A. Smith, and Academics is Skip Bayless. Everybody looks at Skip Bayless like he's clueless, but then they look at Stephen A. Smith like, okay, you're too wild and too opinionated.
Right. Who was the girl in the show?
I can't remember her name, but she's fine as a mother.
Sorry.
Speaking of which, we gotta after we cut this, we gotta speak about some other things. We got some things in the works, people. Whoever's watching, the second half of season 2 and definitely season 3 of Not Club might be a monster.
There's a lot. There's a few guests
going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
And then we have the off season. Get the games done.
Yeah. I don't know if David spoke to you about possibility, but I'll definitely speak to you after.
Actually, I think the joke is I already know who that girl is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my sister-in-law's best friend. When I saw it, I started laughing. I showed my wife. She started laughing.
Oh, so he showed you the message?
No, we're all in the group.
Oh, okay. I forgot you were in it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that group too. So when I saw the guy say, "Yo, my cousin," I looked, I said, "Her?" I said, "Okay, that's new." Like, it didn't even hit me because I know, like, as soon as I saw the company name, I was like, that does make sense. Like, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even hit me.
Yeah. So if that goes through, we're off to the races, people.
Yeah, that was one thing. Still, we have a what's it called? A bartender.
And we're gonna have a producer.
Yeah, working on that too, actually.
Yeah,
So there's a bit, but
looking
I
crazy.
don't think he's gonna be coming back till like February, March though, because he's scared of the snow. He's like, I don't know about the snow. So that's what you
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
So
but
go to the bush.
it's still
But
looking very very promising. I can't wait.
yeah, man, it's enough to do. What's it called? What's the next thing?
Combat.
RIP Combat Jack. Yeah, that came out the blue. Like when I saw you posted on Instagram, if you're following Trace on Instagram at Trace Motivate, yeah, me too. Yeah, this CheZZa. But yes, I saw you posted on your Instagram, and I was like, Combat Jack. First, I just thought you were bigging it up because he's like the originator to me, like of podcasts. When you think about it, he was doing like the drink champs,
Yeah,
like the type of history type stuff, like the drink champs without the drinks, way before anybody was even on this podcast. Like I think the only person who were podcasting around the same time as him was probably Sway.
I got a I got a text from my bro Sonny just as I was opening IG, and I saw Dallas Penn and a couple other people posting. Like when I saw Dallas, because Dallas Penn used to be on Combat Jack.
Right. Yeah,
When I
exactly.
saw him, the first thing I saw was the picture of him in Combat. I didn't even look at the thing, and I was just like, I know they're still cool, but it's not like they post pictures together all the time. So
Right.
when I saw it, I was kind of like, "What's up?" And then I started reading it, like what he was posting, and I was just like, "You can't be like." He's passed away, and then I saw Premium Pete, who used to be on the show. All these other people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't I haven't listened to
Do you know why? How he died?
Cancer.
Say word. So I'm assuming that's why he stopped doing podcasts.
Because I used to listen to it on SoundCloud because I have the Beats dock and I have an old iPhone, so the iPhone's just sitting on the dock,
Right, right, right.
and I would just listen to it. But I would check on the phone that I'm using to see what's currently being popped up, and then I'd
Right.
see something. I'd be like, okay, when I get home and I have my internet at home instead of using my data, I'll check out the new Combat Jack and I'll just do my dishes or cook or whatever, prep my meals, and I'm listening to that. But I hadn't listened to it in a while. But I didn't know he had cancer.
That's not me at all. I noticed that for a while he wasn't putting up anything new.
Like
For me, I'm just like he could be doing something else, or people get busy, different adventure, different whatever.
like him.
But usually when I would go and look for podcasts, it would be Combat Jack, um, Breakfast Club, Hot 97, and Sway. Those are always the ones. And then Combat Jack just stopped updating and updating. So I was like, I don't get what's going on. And then this.
And he took the show live too. He was doing the last podcast I remember him doing. He was just doing like live podcasts. So he was like, "Oh, we got shows booked in certain places in the States. We got
No.
booked in London, stuff like that." So he was doing the same thing that Brilliant Idiots was doing, or what Brilliant Idiots would end up later doing, like the whole live stream in front of an audience type of thing.
Okay.
But he's the OG. Like when I first started listening to like hip hop podcasts, it was him and Juan Epstein.
Yes, the one I've seen too. Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Rosenberg and
Cypher.
Cypher Sounds. Those were the two that I was listening to on a regular basis. But he's the one that put Nori on. So
Yeah.
he's partially responsible for Drink Champs and Taxstone. So Tax Season is
That's true too.
directly related to Combat Jack because he's the one that introduced them, encouraged them, and put them on Loudspeakers Network.
Okay.
So he's like the guy that really set things off for the podcast that you hear today.
He's the guy that set off like exclusive stories. He'd always go there and get a wicked story from somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And these are hour and a half to 3 hour shows. And
Right.
you're always listening. Again, it's like I was saying about Joe. Joe has the insight because he's in the industry and he can articulate it. That's the same thing Combat Jack did. Combat Jack was a lawyer
Yeah.
originally. So he was a lawyer for Bad Boy at one point, for Rockefeller, for Nori and Tragedy Gaddafi.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in the know. He knows the backstories. He knows the people. So, and like I said in my post on IG, especially the last ones that I heard from him, he was always stressing mental health, physical health, making sure you prolong your life. I remember the episode with Pun's widow.
Okay.
But he was talking about therapy because he would always encourage people to go to therapy because he was talking about his own therapy. And she kind of played it off. And she was, a lot of people will say they do their own form of therapy.
Yeah.
But he was like, nah, like really check somebody, check a therapist because this is what they do.
Exactly.
That could really help you. So he was like, there was always a message in the end. And that's
Yeah, so I mean, he was like drink champ, but like positive. Like there was something like without the drinks.
Yeah.
Or even like he wasn't even trying to get like fluffy out of people. It was just like let's get stories out. Let's do this history. Like let people know what's going on.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one who had Tribe on? I think he had Tribe.
He had so many people. He had Tribe on there. He had Sean Price on
Tribe
there.
with Fife, right?
Oh, he had Action Bronson. He had Jadakiss, Fab. Shoot, I think he had the whole Locks at one point.
Yeah. Let's see if I could actually get a list.
So many people. I think he did a Fat Joe interview.
Dame Dash.
Yeah.
Russell Simmons. Chuck D. RZA, Scarface.
The Chuck D one was really good. The Ninth Wonder one was really good. He had Ninth at A3C. I remember that one because they did A3. He did A3C. I think 2 or 3 years straight. He had a live panel.
Oh shit! I've been missing out. There's been a whole bunch of episodes. The last one was yesterday, the Shoot Your Shot episode. They did one Uncle Luke, The Power Through, Cardinal Official in November.
Oh, wow.
Steve Rifkin episode at A3C. The Combat Cancer episode. Man, that's why I've been missing. Oh, okay, yeah. Redman, Just Blaze, RZA, Mathematics.
Just Blaze one was really good.
The A3C featuring Ed Lover, Angela Rye, Combat Jack, and Premium Pete. G Herbo, DJ Paul, Wyclef, Bomani Jones. This is just this year.
One of the Bohami. How do you pronounce his name?
This Bomani.
Bomani Jones from again.
Yeah, this is the return. So there's another one.
Yeah.
Ace Hood, Praz, Twista, Benny Boom, Organized Noise, Dear White People. Where's Rakim episode featuring Ninth Wonder, Professor Mark Anthony Neal, Charlemagne, Brother Ali, Cancer Fighter, The Pretty Lou. Oh man, I've been missing out. He's been talking about this.
Yeah.
Wow. Return of Dallas Penn, Biggs, the Locks episode.
And that's the thing I liked about it. Like, I liked when Dallas Penn and Premium Pete were on it. They were, you know how Joe Budden's got Rory and
I just know Rory's name. He's the only one I ever hear.
No, there's Rory and the other dude, the black guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name. The only name I know is Rory.
Yeah, but they were like his. I don't want to say sidekicks. They were his
co-hosts.
Yeah, and they were really opinionated. Like I like co-hosts that don't sound like co-hosts.
Like they're just writing a hotel type thing. Like they still have something to say.
Yeah, like they weren't lackeys. They were.
Yeah. Kind of like how the Shot Club is.
I don't know about
we're no lackeys. We have haters.
We are all.
We have haters. We have snappers.
I was thinking I got to bring that back too. I was gonna do it one of the episodes and I forgot.
Oh, snap!
I was gonna snap on David.
We should. Okay, Mo's a jabber. Pause. He throws like pure jabs, like just. Like, what do you? That little asshole. Like, pause again. Like.
I can't wait till we go back on the road.
Actually, I was actually thinking about that.
Springtime.
I was thinking about I was thinking on the break, try to do it for like a week.
On the break,
well,
that's gonna be winter.
I like the school of like mind. I have like mind school. Sorry, I'm thinking like March break, but not March break. Somewhere within March, but not too late because of universities exams. So
if we can get sponsorship, and this is a long shot, but if we can get sponsorship within that time, we should go somewhere like south in the States.
We could.
Someone that pay for our flights and hotel, and do March break. Shot Club.
That's what I think. A family in the States?
Do I have family in the States? Kind of, sort of.
Because we got a few in Florida. My dad's about to get a house in Florida. There's some in Georgia.
Some in Florida, but they're more in-laws that.
No, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. But that is a possibility going out there. But build it as the Shot Club thing, like the podcast tour. So
yeah,
we have to actually build the show too.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna say we have time, but I'd say if we don't have anything done by January, it's not gonna be till the summer.
Yeah, I mean it's always something to work towards, though.
Yeah, but I would use it as a promo tour, and I gotta. Oh, what's the date of the first episode? We gotta do the 1 year thing.
The in January.
First episode wasn't in January, was it?
I thought you meant the first episode back.
No. Our first ever episode. Yeah. So you see Pocket Live on my phone. So my Pocket opened Pocket Live and opened up a stream. So I'm walking, all I hear was this girl singing some like Lil Uzi Vert song or something. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm looking around, I'm like, what the hell? I look, it's the girl singing a podcast. Like Abidu and honey. I was like, what? Are you serious? This is what you do?
Couldn't tell you, man.
I'm still like, I don't even like, how is he dead? That doesn't make sense. Like
48.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man.
I thought he was older than that. Not that he looked older, but just his experiences being like an attorney and all that stuff. I figured he was maybe in his mid-50s, closer to 60, just because of what he's done. But I didn't know he's 48. That's wild.
So he was like a young lawyer when he was doing all that stuff. Like most times, you picture lawyers being nice and old, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because he was negotiating deals for Capone and Noriega in like '96.
Most of those Queens artists he was working for.
So he was like what, 26?
Right out of law school. Yawn. In that year, eh? And all this. It's gonna be a restart. It's gonna be next for the shot club. That's what we should do, that commercial. Batman. What's next for our shot club? Will Trace be wearing a tie?
Don't give too much.
Will CheZZa be wearing another sweater?
Don't give up too much. That's true. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all that. Like before we even like really. Well, I'd say season 3. Like the launch for season 3 is going to be, I think, really, really interesting.
Oh yeah.
With the resources we now have going forward, so
I think he loses videos.
Was that?
We didn't start in September. No, September was in Max TV.
No, that's Max. I think we started in like May. Either April or May. I think we started. Actually, I could probably tell you. If you look up Rock Marciano Rosebud's Revenge. If you can Google that. Because that was the day Mo I was supposed to meet Mo, and he sent me a text saying that he couldn't get the program to work or something, so we weren't going to do it that day. So it had to have been like 3 weeks after that, because I had just downloaded that album. It just came out. Because we had a couple false starts, and that was the first false start.
Just like off of music. You don't own a watch. You own an iPod.
Yeah.
You hear a song. Oh, I'm supposed to do this at 5. What the hell you mean? Where'd that come from? Oh, I was just listening to, that new track, and then yeah. Oh.
That's like the most recent thing I can recall from a release date. Because there's so much shit that drops every Friday now.
That's true. Actually, we can talk about some of those albums. Which, have you taken in any new albums? The CheZZa?
Yeah.
You've taken it in. We didn't really get to talk about that on the show, so.
I haven't heard the CheZZa yet. I listened to the first couple NERD tracks, and I turned the album off.
It's like that.
I wasn't.
Well, I find NERD is kind of like different. Like their albums are always different. Like their singles are always dope, but then he starts to go off.
I like NERD as a hip hop influenced rock band. Okay. I don't care to hear them doing the shit they were doing on this one. This one sounded like they were just trying to ride everybody else's wave. I didn't like that.
Oh, so it wasn't even original tape, like for them.
Like wow. There's one song I think has Gucci on it, and like Pharrell sounds like he's trying to be Gucci. There's one song and it sounds like
he's bored.
Yeah. So
he's bored. Now he's just trying out different things just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
It didn't sound like the NERD rock shit, and that's what I was looking for.
Oh, like the lap dance shit, like the old. I know what you mean.
Yeah, Provider.
It's NERD. You always expect there to be like a rock influence to it.
Yeah, I mean they're actually.
If it's not.
This one sounded like Pharrell beats, like Pharrell's just made to accommodate whoever the guest is.
That sucks.
That's just But again, I only heard the first 3 songs, and then I got frustrated and I turned it off.
I'll tell you, that's what long drives are for. That's why I love long drives. Listen to these albums. That's one of them I did get though, so I have to go check that one out. And I also got
Eminem.
G-Eazy. I got Eminem, G-Eazy. I like that G-Eazy song, so I'm giving him a chance. But now I just realized that G-Eazy song, I thought it was him on the chorus, but it's not. It's A$AP Rocky. And then when I listened to the beat, I realized the beat is like, remember that song? I love bad bitches, that's my fucking problem. And I like the fuck, I got a fucking, it's the same beat, like the same thing. And I'm like, ah. And I'm like, also, I like Cardi B's first bit too. So many things.
Everybody sounds
so many things. Now I'm like, do I want to listen to the album or do I not want to?
I wasn't really checking for G-Eazy, but I never have, so.
Me neither, but this album was dope to me, so I was like, hey, you know what? I'll give it a chance. Was our first drink cracking?
No, I think that was the second episode. I have a feeling the first one was a Canadian club. I feel like the first episode we did Canadian club, and then we did cracking.
I feel like the first episode we didn't have a what's it called 40.
No, picture. We didn't have enough. And then the second,
I mean a picture.
We got the big bottle of Kraken.
I didn't do a promotional picture for it. No, I guess not. The first episode I have with the promotional picture is the one with Kraken.
Yeah, it couldn't have been Kraken because Kraken, we got the really big bottle of that one because the first one we ran out early.
That's true.
So I suggested we get the big one, and then we got the big one, and it was way too much for what we were trying to do.
I bid about the business. Sorry. That song with Pharrell and Rihanna, when they don't say nothing, it drives me crazy. So I try to say it, and I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the Eminem album?
An Eminem album.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
I feel like M became everything he's rallied against for so long.
Because he was young and dumb.
He's he found a formula. He used to rally. He used to rally against. And it's like
That's the funny part. Like he finally. But if you realize in his music, everything that he was against, his mom, his ex-wife, pop stars, everything, he's apologizing to or going within that direction.
He's reconciled with all of that.
Like drugs has really fucked him up.
He's become the king of rap ballads.
Yeah.
Like he used to have 1 or 2 on them. Now he's like, it's half the album.
Yeah, that's so true. Or it's like, if not a ballad, it's like a super like inspirational, emotional song. It's like he's trying to make lose yourself over all the time.
Not even lose yourself. You know what it's like? It's like I'm not afraid.
Yes.
I feel like he's been making that and what's the one with Rihanna? The video had like a lot of fire in it.
Love the Way You Lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Love the Way You Lie. Yeah.
It's like he's trying to replicate both of those songs throughout the album.
All the time. Yeah, it's so true.
Sometimes you just hear some brain damage, Eminem. You know.
So, sorry, off topic, but our start date is April 16th.
Okay, that was close. I said May.
But me, I like numbers. What's the number? 416.
Okay. Okay.
That actually works out.
I guess,
416.
and I think we come back to season 3 in April, right?
Yeah.
We end. We might as well. We might as well start on that date or the Sunday that's close to that.
Let me check that date.
We finish. We finish season 2 in February.
So the 15th, either the 15th, 22nd, or 29th. Well, it's the first, 8th, 15th, 20. Well, we'll figure that out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works out.
Like, how'd you feel about the production on the Eminem album?
I felt like a lot of it sounded the same.
The same as together, or you mean other albums?
Like all the songs that were supposed to be big songs, like the Alicia Keys one, the Skylar Grey one, the Pink one, they had the same feel. No, the Beyonce one
Yeah.
stood out because that one stood out because there was no drums.
How'd you feel about that? As a first single as well. How'd you feel about that?
I liked it.
I didn't get why people are so up in arms. I was like, you've never listened to something acoustic before?
I was disappointed that Joe and Academics bashed it on Everyday Struggles. Like, hip hop doesn't have to have drums all the time.
Yeah, that's just so weird to me. I was just like, hey, you guys never listen to anything acoustic. Like, I see why you guys, like, that's why I see, like, Joe, when it comes to music, he loves his New York boom bap. Like, he has to have his boom bap with it. If he doesn't, then he's not liking it.
But not just underground or boom bap. I mean, like, how many of us as artists, as MCs, have heard beats with no drums and we're just rapping over it? Just a loop. Like, you've never heard that before?
It's true, though. Before they put the drums in or whatever. To me, as Joe Budden, as a person who makes 10-minute songs, I don't get how he has an issue with no beat. Like,
that was weird to me. That was weird to
me. But yeah, he was going off.
But that song,
the lyrics were wicked, but I was just like, if you listen to the mood of it with the lyrics, it all makes sense. Like, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It's.
I was surprised.
I guess the same argument. Go ahead. Say it again.
I was surprised that was the first song on the album, though.
That's usually first single stuff, though. Give it away right away. So then it's either you can give it away right away, but Eminem is the type of artist you can give it right away because people still want to hear the rest of your album. Sometimes it's usually for some artists they'll make it that hook, like you'll have to get to that song, so you have to listen to all these other songs. But Eminem, I don't think he's that type of artist that he needs to have that hook. You still want to listen to it to either judge and say you like it or you didn't like it.
It makes sense in the sequence of the album because when you hear the very end of it, he starts the next song. And when you first hear the song, you just think he's...
When we scream, I made Stan.
Yeah.
I'm going to create a Stan.
And there's like some scratching or whatever.
Yeah.
You just think he's kind of rebelling at the end of the song. But when you listen to the album, the way it's sequenced, he goes into that song like that. So it makes sense throughout it.
Yeah, album-wise. That's the thing. When you create an album, it's hard to pull up singles. If you create a full album and not just a bunch of singles together, it's hard to pull it up because it might not get the same context as it should. Pause. To not get the same context as it should if you listen to it as a full album instead of a single.
Yeah.
Now I got that song in my head. I walk on water, but I know Jesus. Tell that to her fans.
That was. I like the way that was written. Skylar Grey wrote that.
Yo, when I tell you Skylar Grey should be bigger than she is right now, and they screwed up her first album by giving her an Eminem single.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you listened to her album?
No.
When I tell you, there was stuff on there that I was like, this could go with like these are bigger songs than what's on the radio right now. Like she had a bunch of radio tracks, like those whatever top 100, top 40 tracks, but
Yeah.
they were big tracks. When I was listening to them, I was like, yo, like you can feel these tracks.
Yeah.
But as soon as they dropped that first single with her and Eminem, it was done. But they try to make that clown stuff. I was just like, man, take your hand off it sometimes. Like,
Yeah. Kind of like Obi Trice.
yep, got teeth.
No, but God Teeth was funny though.
It was funny, but
It was
that's
funny,
not
but they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Obi's. Think about it. When it got to what's it called, the setup, that's when people were like, okay, okay,
They kind of should have started with that.
exactly. Or even the one with
Emin Dre.
was doing DMX on that album. With the organ.
Shit hits the fan.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. What you gonna do when shit hits the fan? You're gonna stand and act like a man, or you're gonna fall. Oh, yeah. I was a shady mark back in the day. Heavy. Not one shady album got by me. I think I have both Obi Trice albums, both D12s.
Hey, D12's first album. The way they started that.
Eminem's up to Eminem show. Then I stopped after Eminem show because it was just getting too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a shady stan, and then 50 Cent got there. Woo, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
I think we got to do that one episode. Just go through different labels.
We did that. We did
Nah,
on
like
Club.
that's shock. No, we can dive into this shit. Pause.
This is the second pause in like 3 minutes, B.
But that like, think about it. We can do. Say we could do a three-part series. We'll ask our one viewer if you think this as well. 3-part series. We talk about 3 main labels, or we can do it by coast. East Coast one, West Coast another, and then South. Boom, boom, boom. That's East Coast. They had Def Jam, Loud,
Bad Boy, Ruckus.
Tommy Boy back in the day, Ruckus. I think those were the main ones. Then West Coast obviously had Death Row, Ruthless.
Yeah.
What was Quick on?
Quick was on. That's a good question. I feel like I know that. I don't know why it's escaping me.
Oh, I think it was Priority. What did Priority turn into?
Priority was the home of Ruthless. It was the home of Death Row at one point. I think after Interscope.
Interscope is a West Coast label, right? Like it's international now, but
essentially, yeah,
it's mostly West Coast, right?
Interscope was originally like a rock label.
Yeah, I saw something. There was like this one group that Jimmy Iovine produced. They have like 9 those other? I have possibly. There was a point that Interscope had everybody. They had from Limp Bizkit, Korn, and all them, and then on the other side, you had the rap side locked down. Like the Interscope was that label with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously Aftermath. That's another West Coast.
Yeah.
And then on the South, obviously No Limit, Cash Money, Slip and Slide, So Def.
Swamp House.
You said Swamp House?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Jay Prince's?
Rap a Lot.
Rap a Lot. Yes. Man, that's just off the top. Like,
yeah.
Think about that. We can go through history. And truthfully, when it comes to the South, I'll be learning a lot of shit because I wasn't really into the South.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of West Coast stuff. Remember TQ? That was my dude.
He got caught up on Cash Money.
Did he drop? I don't think he had to drop anything at that time.
I'm not sure. We might have to do a deep dive on Cash Money, because Cash Money put out at least one Tina Marie album.
They did. I learned that whenever a label gets at that point where they start signing everybody, they're about to fold, and that's so weird. You think
because it's a thing of writing off things. They're trying to write everything off by then. That's protecting your
assets. You think being able to sign more artists means that you have more to work with. You know what I mean?
Remember when Rockefeller was signing everybody?
Everybody. They had Nori. Nori tells the story. He's like, he got like a chain and that was it.
They had Graph. Remember Graph?
They had Graph. That is so true. Then they had MOP. Who else? I think they signed MOP and Nori at the same time.
Yeah, I think so. But Nori is probably the most productive out of all of them because that was when reggaeton was hitting big.
Exactly. That's when he was going platinum on reggaeton. So when they signed him, it was a good sign, but he didn't even get to drop an album on Def Jam. Oh, they had ODB.
Yeah, that's a sad story. That was sad.
Yeah.
But yo,
that story's as sad as like Big Pun. I just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live.
Did you see the MTV ODB documentary?
Mm-mm.
This was when he just got home. He just got out of jail, and he went like
wasn't that what's it called, the Rockefeller sponsored thing?
If you put in ODB MTV, it'll probably come up. It was like based on him coming out of jail and signing with Rockefeller.
Okay, then I think I've seen that.
The day he got home, they did a press conference, and Mariah was there, and Dame Dash was there, and then they threw him in the studio with Pharrell, and he looked all disheveled.
Yeah, man, they're moving too fast, man. The guy just went to jail, got off drugs, like, and they just tried to put him in a system. Like, it was like a whirlwind. The guy just turned around and said, "I need drugs again."
Yeah,
he fucking died. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
ODB, like, it's supposed to be around like DMX is around type thing. Like, he might still be wilding, but he's still alive.
Yeah.
Like, ODB should be around like Flavor Flav is around. You know what I mean? Like, how's Flavor Flav still around, but ODB's not? Like, DMX has been in and out of everything. It's like, come on.
Everybody's built different, though.
It's true, though. But still, man, it's sad.
Yeah. But yo, my batteries are going.
They all have 50 kids. Well, wait until your phone dies.
Yeah, it's about to die out.
What are you at?
9%.
I'm waiting until you're about to like 9%. All right, tell me when you're at like 2.5.
Yeah, but I'd rather tune out than cut off.
I'm just saying, 2.5. All right. Well then, this has been another episode of The Casual Fan. Shout out to the Shot Club. Shot Club, we will be back in the new year. January 3rd. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to the YouTube.
We might do a Christmas episode.
We might do an anti-Christmas episode.
Part 2?
An anti-Christmas episode, like, is it Christmas for you, motherfuckers?
The Grinch that stole the podcast.
We could do that. Oh, we got to bring Hater Dave on that one. Hater Dave has to come through for that. Oh, shoot. Yeah, so yeah. Everybody watching, make sure you do watch for more content coming on the thing. We have the this guy versus that guy.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that all together. You'll be seeing that. We're trying to get Dave on here. I mean, David Solomon, get him in his own show called Hater Dave.
Yeah. And
Mo,
make sure you
we're working
subscribe.
for him.
Yeah,
always make sure you subscribe with your
subscribe, hit the notifications, so you get alerted for whenever we drop live podcasts.
Yep. And also stay tuned. End of the month, we are going to announce the winner of the remix contest.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that. We just got to go through the beats one more time, get everybody to vote down, and then we'll have that out. So yeah, you will see us before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But until then,
follow us on IG at Shot Club Podcast.
Yeah, at Shot Club Podcast. That's at Trace Motivate. This is at This CheZZa. This is at My Spliff. Hey, we're gonna be out this bitch. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Casual fan.
Oh yeah, I'm the one who stops it, right?